Last time, we learned that John and Joyce decided to get a quickie divorce in Mexico, and now, 2 years later, they learned that it wasn't valid and legally they're still married. True to form, John was a bit deceptive in his bid to talk Joyce into divorcing him again, and now she's so furious she'll barely speak to him, much less give him anything he wants.
Hi, John.
Good morning, Hugo.
How'd your meeting with Joyce go last night?
Do you remember the Hindenburg?
Yeah.
That went better.
It's even worse than that. Joyce is going to rub it in as much as she can.
Good morning, darling.
Good morning, Joyce.
I have the most wonderful surprise for you.
Oh, and what might that be?
Your last alimony check. It arrived this morning. Seeing as how we're still legally married, I don't know what to do with it.
Well, you could always...
John.
Thank you.
John is missing a perfect opportunity here. He needs to tell her he wants all the others back, too. Just make sure the cameras are rolling to preserve her reaction.
If John calls while I'm out this evening, tell him I have the script changes.
Okay.
Better still, say your wife has the script changes.
You're really rubbing it in, aren't you?
Who, me? Yes.
She's enjoying this, but there's something she forgot.
Hi, honey, I'm home. What time is supper, dear?
She forgot two can play this game.
John, I don't know what you're doing here carrying those bags, but you better be selling Fuller brushes.
Ah, Joyce, that wit, that whimsy, it's going to be good getting back to that.
Getting back to that?
Yes, I've come back home where I belong.
After some heated discussion, he heads upstairs. Mitzi wants to be anywhere else, but Joyce won't let her go. She insists John is not moving in.
Now he's really going to know what it feels like to suffer.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to make him dinner.
That could do it.
Don't you see, it's all part of a war of nerves.
Well, it's working. It's making me very nervous.
He wants to play house, we'll play house.
While they discuss, she opens that can and dumps whatever is in it onto the plate. That's John's dinner. And this place is hers and Mitzi's, not John's. Period.
Okay, if that's what you want, I'm with you all the way. If you're not budging, neither am I.
Oh, Joyce.
The movies.
He may not really be moving in, but he's doing an excellent job of pretending he is. He says he burned a hole in his pants and needs Joyce to fix them while he eats. She has just the patch.
Close enough.
Red gingham is almost the same as dark brown if you squint enough. Meanwhile, he's admiring the food.
Ah, Joyce, I can see you've outdone yourself. This is a spread fit for a king. What do you call this, Joyce?
Salmon mouse.
It's pronounced moose.
Suit yourself.
Mitzi already told us what it is, and from that name you can probably guess. John is a little slower on the uptake.
Delicious.
Really?
Yes? Fully up to your standards.
Oh, I'm relieved to hear that. I was afraid you wouldn't like it. Made the cats throw up.
2 points for Joyce, but John is coming back strong.
I can keep this up as long as you can.
You think so?
Why not? I rather enjoy marriage.
Well, in that case, Joyce,
Yes, John.
I demand my conjugal rights.
Oh no, John comes back with a major smackdown. Joyce is reeling, but she's not out yet.
Okay, Buster, you got it.
What?
You heard me, you're on.
I am?
Sure, let's go.
What do you mean, just like that?
Why not?
I didn't think you were that kind of a girl.
I'm not. not. I'm your wife, remember?
Uh-oh, looks like she has John by something very sensitive. He'd better think carefully about how he's going to get out of this.
Well, yes, but I just can't believe that you actually go through with something like this just to spite me. It seems so cold-blooded, so mechanical.
Please, you're making me nostalgic.
He insists he wasn't bluffing, as if she or anybody else is buying that line.
Well, what's it going to be, John? You going to fish or cut bait?
Okay, Joyce, let's go fishing. I can carry this just as far as you can.
We'll see about that.
Don't be long, dear.
Saved by the bell. Joyce is having so much fun with this, she forgot what else is supposed to be happening tonight.
Hi, Joyce. Am I early?
Jerry, oh my God.
You don't like the candy?
No, I just forgot you were coming. I'm not ready. The place is a mess.
Oh, that's okay. The place should look lived in. And this place really looks lived in.
Those are...
Mine.
The more she tries to explain, the more confused Jerry gets. It doesn't help that John is acting like she's a teenager and he's her father, asking what Jerry's intentions are and all that. She can't wait to get out of there.
Gee whiz, Joyce. I thought tonight was going to be just like our honeymoon.
Well, actually, it still will be, dear. All you have to do is run up those stairs, lock yourself in the bathroom, and cry yourself to sleep.
I don't have to mention that the date is a disaster.
Poor Jerry. How could he have a good time after seeing John with his pants off? I know I never could.
They just can't help themselves. She's right about one thing, though. That whole bit was really unfair to Jerry. I wonder if he'll call her again. I suppose that depends on the show's budget.
How was the movie?
So. It was Swedish. It was about this girl, Inga, who has a school teacher, Helga, who's in love with Inga's brother, Gunter. Only Gunter's in love with his classmate, Frida. At the end, they all leave school and kill themselves.
So they both had similar evenings. John has something to say.
Okay, Joyce. You've had your fun. I'm going home.
What's the matter? Can't take it? I called your bluff and you caved in?
That's right, Joyce. You win.
That's great, except it's not. Winning, at least like this, wasn't her goal.
I can't beat you at your own game. And if I keep on trying, I'll only destroy whatever good feelings we may still have for each other. Good night, Joyce. Mitzi.
She was enjoying tormenting him because she was angry at him, but this took the wind out of her sails. She says, I didn't win, I lost. Now I have to give him the divorce.
And only because I'm beginning to wish we could get back together again.
Oh. But isn't that a good reason to stay married?
No, don't you see? I only held him to the marriage because I was mad at him.
Oh.
If Mitzi is following this, she's doing better than I am.
But now that you'd like to get back together again...
We have to get divorced.
Oh. I don't understand.
Oh, good, it's not just me. She realizes if she still has any feelings for John and has any hope of ever getting back together, she can't force him into something. It has to be because he wants to, not because she made him do it or held something over his head.
Oh, your marriage is standing in the way of your romance.
Exactly.
Now I understand. In a way, you and John are a lot like spiders. I mean, they're fine when they mate, but after that, it's better for their romance if the male goes away.
Why?
Because if he doesn't, the female kills him and has him for lunch.
It's hard to argue with Mitzi logic. It sometimes reminds me of Batman logic. So they're back in Mexico. Why? Because in 1977, it took forever plus 2 weeks to get a divorce finalized in the U.S., whereas in Mexico, you could take care of everything in a day or two. Just make sure you have a real lawyer this time.
We drove down to help you celebrate.
Yeah, it's only a couple hours driving. We figured you may need cheering up.
You didn't think we'd let you untie the knot without us, did you?
Well, actually, we were hoping it would be just a simple ceremony, just the immediate family, Joyce and me.
Our lawyer appears, does the requisite thing about seeing if there's any chance at reconciliation, and can't figure out why everybody is so happy. But as long as he gets paid, he doesn't have to.
You know, this isn't a bad town. It's too bad we can't stick around and, have a couple of laughs.
Hey, why don't we? I saw a terrific little restaurant just a few miles back.
Yeah, that sounds great. Joyce, what are you doing after the divorce?
Same thing I did after the last one, cartwheels. Are you actually asking me out?
Why not? Now that I'm single again, I might as well start dating.
They've been quasi-divorced for 2 years, and he's only just getting around to that idea? When I got divorced, I headed out for my first date before the ink on the decree was dry. Maybe last time John didn't realize it was a thing he could do.
Por favor, sign here. Countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now officially divorced.
That's right. The stuff about the restaurant and asking Joyce out and all the rest came before the actual divorce action. Now, if you were to turn that around, that line about might as well start dating would have made a terrific exit line. As it is, we have a few party noises and that's it. Like everything else about this show, it's just bland. We don't end on a nice big punchline. We fizzle out as if we're not sure what to do. Once in a while a show can get away with that, but on this show it's consistent. As I've said before, it just comes down to poor writing. My mind is reeling from all the crazy, funny antics we could have had with a premise like this. I would have liked to see them finish their trip upstairs and the ramifications of that afterward. Instead, we went with the low-hanging fruit of embarrassing a total stranger. Of all the things this show lacks, imagination is right up there in the top 3. I could have created some good episodes of this show by drawing from my own life. As many of you know, in 2011, my wife of 30 years and I divorced. We were both pretty bitter, but we didn't drag things out. We got it over with as quickly as possible. But unlike John and Joyce, we didn't go our separate ways holding grudges. We went our separate ways and we both asked, what the heck just happened and why? Rather than keep pointing fingers, we both started examining ourselves and asking, how did I contribute to this? Next thing we knew, we could talk to each other again. We both had new insights into ourselves and what we wanted out of life, and what we really wanted was each other. We got remarried almost a year to the day after our divorce became final. It takes 2 to make a marriage or other committed relationship. It also takes 2 to destroy one. Joyce blames John for everything because he won't let go of his stoic ways. If it's how he was raised, there's a good chance he can't. It's been pounded into his head and he'll never get rid of it. John resents Joyce because she keeps trying to make him get rid of it. That tells us something important about their backstory. She married him with the intention of changing him. You don't do that. You marry a person how they are, or you don't marry them. If Joyce is still hanging on to that idea, John would do well to take a different directing job. Maybe in Italy or India, someplace where she can't find him. Our lawyer appears, does the requisite. If it's how he was raised, there's a good chance he can't. Man, I was getting close! Fiddle faddle. As it is, we have a few party noise. I can say few for crying out loud. Joyce blames John for everything because does not become Joyce be play.